Всем привет! Продолжаем патологоанатома. Хоррор, не хоррор, решать вам. Поэтому всем приятного просмотра. А мы продолжаем. Так, заходим в игру. Такс, такс. Все хорошо. Все очень хорошо. Так, продолжаем мы с таблетосами. Нам снился какой-то кошмар с множеством скелетов.
Time flies, and probably doesn't have to get up to work.
Да. Я думал, какие-то наручники, а это сережки. Наручники, блядь.
She got it for her first day of work, and she broke it the same day. She said it was for luck.
Or Элис. Да.
I
Она
wasn't
еще
able
была
to support
беременна.
her through this.
Беременна, да, еще была?
It's always good to
Деньги.
have something for a rainy day.
Нормальная такая заначка.
It was a miracle that the coffee didn't wash off the writing. And that she said yes.
Да. Умение английского 0. Мы... Да. Жаль, конечно, его. Жаль этого добряка.
It's been almost a year. So much light everywhere.
Закрой. Она тоже врачом была, как я понял, да? Да они в Париже. Париж.
Some days, I just feel like setting fire to all this paperwork. I'm fed up with it.
Порой точно
An
так же охота.
indispensable element of every office. I should really try and read a few of these. A pill a day keeps the defective jack away. It's just too dirty to use.
Вот
It's a
они, да.
shame these won't help with my hangover. Ugh, the fucking phone. Okay. I know I'm late. I'll be there soon. It's not like the dead are impatient.
Jack, no.
Alice? Who is this?
It's Charlotte Graves.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. I thought it was work calling.
It's okay. I hate it when work calls me at home, too. How is everything? We haven't talked since... you know.
Well, there are good days, and there are bad days. What can I say? At least I can hide away at work.
Well, you always were the most comfortable in the dissecting room. Listen, I have an unusual request.
Okay, how can I help?
It's nothing serious. I just wanted to ask. Do you have any pictures of Alice? Maybe one where the two of us are together? I'd love to have something to remind me of her.
I guess. I'm not sure. I'll look through her things.
Thank you. I'm sorry to trouble you with this. All this can't be easy for you.
I'll get through it somehow. I've been meaning to sort through her stuff for a while. Have you asked Stephen if he has anything?
Yes, I spoke with him this morning. He said he gave everything to their mother and that I should ask you.
I see.
Jack, I know you're trying. That you cope somehow. Stephen's there for you. Although, well, we all know how he can be. But, I mean, if you wanted to reminisce about Alice, talk.
I really should go now. I overslept, I'm late for work, and I still have some errands to run on the way.
Oh. Okay, sure. Sorry to keep you.
I'll look for something and send it over. Thanks for the call, and bye.
Oh, do you have my address?
Not on hand. You'd best remind me again.
292 Browning Lane, apartment 432, Johnson City, New York, 13790.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you. It would mean a lot to me. Just miss her so much.
Yeah, me too. And that's okay. Really, no problem.
Thank you. Take care, Jack.
You too, Charlotte. It was nice to hear you. Well, that was a bit unexpected. I should probably find something to send.
В смысле, ебать меня накрыло.
I'm not in the mood for music lately.
Какие-то замышленные дети. Пойдем поищем.
Alice and Charlotte in Amsterdam.
Лето 1975.
It's hard to believe they've known each other for so long. These were from Thanksgiving. Stephen invited me. I was going to give them to his mother, but then I met Alice. That was the first time I saw her.
Мы это видели. Еще что? Вот тут. Больше не пригибается, да? Что у нас тут? Что-то есть? Или все, что ли?
It would be better if Charlotte had this. It deserves to be on display and not hidden in a drawer.
Вот эту тоже, что ли? Нет? А, не путешествовали, да? Какое-то сердечко. Ладно, ладно.
Okay,
вот
time
сюда.
to go to work. I'm seriously late.
Ладно. Почтовый ящик, да?
I should grab some coffee and aspirin on the way.
А где почтовый ящик? Закрываем дверь за собой, пожалуйста.
These fluorescent tubes are brutal.
Где у нас тут почтовый ящик? Блять, как все крипово так, блять, пиздец. Так, прошу меня простить, сейчас пару секунд. Так, все, я снова тут. Извиняюсь за... А, вот они, почтовые ящики, да? Так, где мой? Где тут почтовые ящики? А, вон все вижу. Вижу почтовый ящик, да.
I hope this helps, Charlotte. Okay. All done here. Time to go. Huh?
Блять. Что же вы за люди-то? Такие
Damn,
пугать.
I forgot my jacket. Well. I'll brave it for tonight. Too bad.
Кто-то, блядь, пробежал. Испугал, и куда-то убежали, я даже не увидел. Толком.
Nice and fresh. At least it's peaceful here.
Тут кто-то есть?
Good evening, Mr. Ridley.
The timesheet handman.
Где? Где? Кто? Ридли. Мы с Ридли. Блять, как это все? А, туда не пройти, да?
Some corpses have more personality than this guy. Christ. Who leaves the window open in the middle of November? So I'd better check the answering machine.
Hi, Jack. I dropped by a little early today. I left the body with Ridley in the corridor. He wasn't sitting in the locker then, so maybe he'll even throw him into the room. Well, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, it's your first birthday without her, and... This, I still have a hangover, and you know me, I run to the John like the neighbor's fucking dog. You know, today I slipped on his shit again. That fucking furball. He always has to shit next to my car. Anyway, I can't come over in the evening, but we'll catch up on the weekend, okay? Bye. Fuck. I almost forgot. Charlotte called me this morning. She asked about you, so answer your calls, Jack. This time it's not a reprimand for being late.
That's par for the course. I wonder when this clown will learn to look under his feet.
Изучить кекс.
Birthday. I actually forgot it was today. Alice baked me muffins like these every birthday. A treat for later. I always crave something sweet after a section. Okay, joke's over. Apron, gloves, and get to work.
Проекторской. Где у нас тут проекторская? Это да. Здесь они еще успевают поесть. Даже. Так скажем. Что за звук? А где у нас проекторская? Вот здесь? Ну да. А где фартук? А где фартук? Фартук где? Кто-то видит фартук? Какой проекторская он может висеть? Ну, вот вроде проекторская, нет? А, понятно.
Man, I remember you. You were on that talent show. What was your name again? I need to order another batch of these. I've got to remember to do that later. And that's the whole point.
Камера уже установлена, да?
Steven laughs at me for recording everything. He says I have a bigger collection of stuff like this than most of the creeps he's caught. November 21st, 1991. Time, 9:13 p.m. The autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Lecture for the Medical University of Missouri. After yesterday's lecture, you should already know the ins and outs, so today we'll be consolidating our knowledge. So, where do I start? That's right, police folder.
Так,
Ah, yes, Samantha Barker. Now I remember. There's probably gonna be a lot of chatter about this.
почему она не переводит ничего? Суперстар. Типа какая-то известная личность, да, у нас получается? Ладно.
Found in her own apartment by police patrol. Officers were called by a concerned friend of the deceased, who had been unable to contact Barker for several days.
Типа в гостиной где-то, что ли? Блять.
During the interrogation, a friend of the deceased admitted that Samantha never got to grips with the sudden fame that came after winning such a high-profile talent show. The deceased was found in her own apartment, in a semi-recumbent position on an armchair. Large quantities of alcohol and empty packets of sleeping pills were also found in the apartment.
Наглоталась,
After her
да?
first album became a commercial success, she was hit with a creative drought. She suffered panic attacks and severe sleep problems. Drugs and medication came into play. When questioned, friends admitted that Samantha's last days before losing contact seemed extremely happy and relaxed. She also quit drinking alcohol and mentioned something about rehab. The friend also admits that there was no indication of an impending tragedy.
Кто-то ее убил,
Well,
да?
let's see what settled this matter. As you can see, the body is fully clothed. Therefore, before we move on to photographic documentation, we must remove the clothes. This time, we don't
Так, еще прошу прощения. Я снова тут.
have to
Продолжаем.
focus on the clothes too much. However, there are cases where a clothing analysis can lead to the cause of death.
Снять с трупа одежду.
Okay, now we can continue with the examination. Again, begin by taking photographs of the cadaver. I guarantee that over time it will cease being embarrassing for you.
Камеру из ящиков дали. А, вот здесь, да.
First, we photograph the whole body. And now, any suspicious looking marks or wounds. Yes, I've seen this many times.
Какие-то трупные.
Interesting. Very uneven. We need to investigate this.
Так.
You don't get such bruises from a normal contusion. Well, there's even more here.
Ну, ее по-любому пили, да?
A few we will need to look into here.
Проведем вскрытие.
Notes prepared. Time to take a closer look.
С помощью лупы.
The number of bruises suggests that there may have been some kind of tussle.
Ну да. С кем-то она явно
Some
боролась.
furrows have imprinted more strongly, others less, as if someone was undecided.
Душил
Such
кто-то.
bruises are caused by either a very heavy blow or by some internal issues. And here's something interesting. The skin of the deceased is covered with numerous blisters. Some of them are ruptured. Others still contain fluid residue. More numerous blisters. We have some leads to investigate here. Let's write this down. Currently, it's difficult to say whether the bruises were the result of a beating or whether it could be some kind of internal bleeding. In general, such blisters usually appear in the case of mechanical abrasions, but due to the place of occurrence, this should be excluded. The most likely cause of such skin changes is the high concentration of barbiturates in the body. Although it's easier to have abrasions on your feet, but the number and size of the blisters suggest that it's probably a matter of barbiturate poisoning.
Отравление.
On the neck of the deceased, we can see clear furrows, indicating that strangulation may be the probable cause of death. Given the condition of the deceased, it's difficult to tell immediately whether the bruises were the result of a struggle or perhaps the result of iron deficiency. A severed spinal cord, trauma to the larynx, or trachea will verify whether the hanging was the final nail in Miss Barker's coffin. After examining the organs, we can easily verify whether there was internal bleeding or whether the deceased was suffering from something. I'll add barbiturates to the list of necessary tests.
Барбитуры это наркота, что ли, или чё? Ну да.
To be checked in the lab later. Examination with a UV lamp will dispel some doubts. Potential attackers could have left traces. Given the testimony of the victim's friend, I add alcohol poisoning to the list of potential causes of Miss Barker's death. A blood test will no doubt quickly verify that hypothesis. But first I'll check for external traces. For this we use the good old UV lamp.
Лампы, да? Уф, лампа.
I look carefully at the whole body. UV rays will reveal any traces. Torso. Empty, without marks. The area around the head is empty. Legs, there's nothing here. Right hand clean. The left hand seems to be fine. No marks. Well, nothing to surprise us here. Now gently, we take the deceased by the hand. And we check for rigor mortis.
Трупное окоченение, да? Так. В этом мы уже шарим.
Again, the hand falls freely. After yesterday, you should know what this means. Since we don't have a definitive lead, we will examine all the key organs one by one. So, I'm starting the internal inspection.
Да. Так, скальпель.
I dissect the skin of the deceased. And I proceed to deflect the skin flaps. Compared with yesterday's body, the deceased has only trace amounts of adipose tissue.
Ну да, какая-то она хрупенькая. Ой-ой. Я думал, слизь какая-то. В смысле?
Now for the ribs.
Ребра, ребра, ребра.
What do we have here? Or rather, what don't we have? There is certainly no sign of internal bleeding. Sometimes regarding bruising, it doesn't take much. My wife was constantly banging into furniture, walking into door frames. That's a wonder she never broke anything. Before I disembowel the deceased, I will take samples for toxicological tests to determine the alcohol content in the body. I just need my syringe.
Фриц, да?
Just to be sure, I'm taking samples from 3 organs: the eyeball, the heart, and the bladder. Analysis will rule out, or confirm, alcohol poisoning as the cause of death.
Так,
All done. I'll transfer these to the centrifuge. What was it? 15, 70, 10, 75? Maybe one day I won't need my notebook.
да уж, записную книжечку опять
Numbers
надо.
have never been my strong point. It's probably why I regularly forgot birthdays and anniversaries. I'm lucky Alice always forgave me.
Это да, это да. Помещаем аккуратненько.
Gently does it with this old thing. Handle with kid gloves.
Так, ну нам нужно на алкоголь же, да? 15 и 70.
I'm starting the centrifuge. Let's see what results come out. The laboratory is already open, so... Fucking hell! Ridley! Mr. Ridley! Where is he? The fuses need resetting. Fuck it. I'll do it myself. I swear there was a flashlight in here. Whatever. I know where the switches are anyway.
Где у нас тут предохранитель? В каком хранилище? Где-то тут? А где какие предохранители-то могут быть? О, вот оно что, значит, в ту комнату. Ну пойдем, пойдем. Он у нас и не бегает, и не прыгает, блядь. В темноте я вообще, блядь, я не вижу.
First the right, and then the left. And voila. What?
Где, блядь? Кто? Ты дядька тут? Нет, блядь? Ты куда съебался? Съебался, блядь.
What the? Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't I work in peace? Jack Hanman speaking.
Easy, why so rude?
Steve? Sorry, man. This place is falling apart, and Ridley won't even lift a finger to help. You just can't work here.
It the centrifuge strip the fuses again?
Yeah, eventually everything's gonna go up in smoke.
Look on the bright side. It's a free cremation with your autopsy.
Jesus, stop it. That shit pisses me off.
Okay, sorry, Jack. Anyway, I'm calling to ask how the autopsy's going. Soon there'll be journalists sniffing around for info, so we'd best be ready.
I'll whiz through this in a couple of hours. It doesn't look like a complicated case to me. More of a formality. The report will be available in the morning.
Sounds great. Thanks. Phew. How's your head?
Well, my head seems better than yours. On the way to work.
Holy fuck. Jack, turn on the radio.
What? What's happening?
Quiet.
A 3-car police convoy was involved in an accident near Pete's Bay Bridge while transporting prisoners to Orleans Parish Prison. At the moment, we do not know the exact number of victims or whether any of the convicts escaped. However, the scale of the accident indicates a large number of victims, possibly even fatal ones. Police are on their way to investigate the incident and secure the area. We know that the injured prisoners are on death row. The police were to transport them to their execution, which was to take place tomorrow morning. Many of them are very dangerous criminals. We will report on the matter on an ongoing basis, so stay tuned with us.
What? Was... Steven... Was Red Pete one of the passengers? He was, wasn't he? What if he survived?
Jack, I have to go. They want me on site.
What if he survived?
I gotta go. Talk to you later, okay?
Fuck. Calm down, Jack. Pills. I need my pills. You heard him, Jack. A serious accident. Lots of victims. He's definitely dead.
Накрыло так накрыло, блядь.
Yes. Nothing's going to happen. Christ. I've got to get back to work. What?
Эти звуки.
Technical break. At least I know I can pursue a career as a janitor if I need to. Fucking hell!
Центрифуги, да?
Alright, let's see if we were able to get anything out of this piece of crap. And miraculously, yes.
Тоже, да? Что-то было там.
The samples did spin. I'll transfer them to the chromograph in the lab.
Какую стойку? Где эта стойка?
Alright, let's load this up.
Да-да.
I placed the test tubes in the rack. Now, just take 5 milliliters from each.
А,
Precisely.
0,5. Так вот, да.
And the next.
Теперь следующее. Установить 10, да?
Five more.
Еще 5 установить. 15. 15. Ебать его кроет, конечно, блядь.
We put the prepared sample into the machine.
Промограф. А,
Let's see what we have here. The results indicate that the deceased did consume alcohol shortly before her death. However, this is not an amount that could cause poisoning leading to death. Just slight inebriation. I can return to the body and continue the rest of the examination. The chromatograph results show that we can eliminate alcohol poisoning from our list of potential causes of death. However, remember that alcohol can affect the functioning of the entire body. It disturbs the heart rhythm, accelerating its rate, and dilutes the blood, which may result in more severe bleeding in the event of an accident. Also remember that alcohol affects the metabolism of drugs in the liver, which I'll now look at in more detail. First, I'll pick up the syringe again.
биологического анализа.
I'll take samples from the liver and the heart to test the concentration of barbiturates in the body. That's enough. I'll do the test later. I'd best not try my luck with the centrifuge right now. Now I removed the liver. No lesions. However, it is slightly enlarged. Perhaps it's a slight inflammation or drug-induced damage. It may also be the result of the deposition of substances from drugs. Let's check the weight of the organ.
Взвесим орган, да? Ну давай взвесим, да? Сколько ты весишь?
The weight is 1,300 grams.
1300.
The liver is enlarged.
Так,
I'll move on to a cross-sectional study. Perhaps the enlargement is the result of early cancerous changes.
ранние
The
стадии
blade
рака.
glides through smoothly. I don't feel like I'm encountering any changes with an unusual structure.
Ну да,
No
ну да.
steatosis or cirrhosis. The liver is actually quite clean inside.
Пойдем дальше.
The liver is basically healthy. We already know that the deceased didn't abuse alcohol. The question is, what about drugs or other substances? I move on to the heart.
Сердце.
Oh. At a glance, we can see signs of a heart attack. The deceased is definitely too young to have a heart attack due to natural causes. The liver is enlarged, not from alcohol poisoning, and the heart looks like it has collapsed. So, I guess we need to go to the centrifuge and check for these barbiturates. The last time I saw this kind of poisoning was a few years ago. I better check the data in my notebook. He was a middle-aged guy. He took his medication and forgot about it. So he took another pill. He forgot again and took another one. And another one. Until he took the last one. That's why it's better to have amnesic drugs in boxes labeled with the days of the week. This sort of thing rarely happens anymore. Doctors tend to prescribe benzodiazepines. They are safer, but still shouldn't be combined with alcohol.
Опять центрифуга. Так.
All right.
Так. Токсичность анализа на барбитураты. Смотрим заметки. Так, барбитураты. Где барбитураты? Барбитураты. Барбитураты. Че, все тоже, что ли? Ну давай. А там что-то было, кстати, нет? Ну давай. А что не так? Подождите, что не так? Что не так? Что не так? Барбитураты. А как? Где? Подожди. R перевести. Рин. Погоди, а вот. Вот, наверное, да? Вот даже читать. Вот они, да. Так, время 10 минут, скорость 75. Все, понял. Значит, время 10 минут. Так. Время 10 минут, скорость 75.
We close the centrifuge and pray that it doesn't trip anything again.
Сейчас опять вырубится, да?
It looks like our luck is in.
Его себе. Возьмем, возьмем.
We can take the samples to the lab now.
Ладно, берем.
I wonder how she was able to get hold of these drugs.
Поместить образцы на стойку. То же самое, да, делаем?
Okay, 2 samples this time. 6
Так.
milliliters each.
По 6 миллиграммов каждый. Так. Крест. Крест, крест, крест. Вот. Вставляем. Так. 6. И 12. 12, 12, 12. Так. А теперь
Well,
хамограф.
let's see how much of it we find. Nothing surprising. Significant amounts of phenobarbital metabolites of hepatic origin. Looks like I'll have to check the contents of the deceased's stomach.
Содержимое желудка, да?
The test showed
Содержимое.
that the collected blood contained enough barbiturates to cause cardiopulmonary collapse. The question now is whether it was an accident or a deliberate act. I'm proceeding to examine the stomach. Before extraction, I ligate the entire organ to prevent its contents from spilling out. Okay, I'm now cutting out the organ, which will move to the board for dissection.
Пойдем к доске.
Normally, the stomach and intestines are full of surprises.
Так, препарируем. Блять. Попасть надо. Фокусируйся. Руки трясутся. За тобой охотится какой-то маньяк. Который, блядь, сбежал.
This time, we see remnants of undigested food and a dense mass of pills. You don't take this many drugs by accident.
Понятно.
Length and width normal. No obvious pathological changes. Undigested drugs found in the stomach of the deceased. The direct cause of death was probably an overdose. I'll check the rest of the organs, and then the nervous system. We'll see how significant the marks on the neck are for the whole case. The deceased's trachea is normal. Complete patency. No food or fluid. Lungs are normal, no lesions. The victim was probably a smoker, but was unlikely to be in any serious danger. The deceased's intestine is normal. No clear pathological changes. Abdominal cavity checked off. We can check the brain.
Давайте. Давайте вскроем. Так, где там? А, вот.
I make a cut to open the lid of the victim's skull and remove the brain.
Так. Так, 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 так. Так, так. Аккуратно.
Brain is normal. No obvious lesions. Alright. I need to dissect it on a board.
Пойдемте
Using a
препарировать.
knife, I carefully cut through the brain tissue. I peek
Right.
inside a bit, and... I don't think there's anything worth noting.
Так. Так.
As
Так.
expected, the deceased's brain is in excellent condition. No discoloration or changes due to hypoxia. There is still the matter of the marks on the neck. They look superficial, but who knows? Maybe the spinal cord has been severed. I need goggles and a saber saw. I think the goggles were in the desk drawer. Oh, they're out there. Alice. Saw. I need saw. Fuck. I don't see it here. Oh. I know. I probably left it in the basement after its last cleaning.
Ридли, да. Его там не было, дядь, блядь.
Mr. Ridley, I need a key to the basement.
It's in the social room.
Why is the key lying at the... never mind. Thank you.
Hey, Hammond, did you hear about the convoy? Well, maybe you'll get a chance to relive your glory days and catch Red Beat again, huh?
Let's hope there won't be a need for that. If only he could put that much enthusiasm into his work. I get the feeling that searching through this rubbish is more pathogenic than working with corpses. Please, may this be the last trip.
подвале.
Why did the prison convoy have to get into an accident? Jack, take a deep breath. Deep, pleasantly cool breath. You're nearly finished with the autopsy. Then you can go home and rest. I'll take the saw. Fuck! It's jammed! Doesn't anyone do maintenance around here? Damn hatch. Damn red Pete. Like, ever again. Ever. If only.
Пиздец звук. Ебать.
It would be
Это и
easier if I
звуки,
put
блядь.
those away properly.
Ну я так и думал, что...
Damn student lectures and their fucking props. And like clockwork, he's already sleeping. Sorry for the short interruption. I hope you all took the opportunity to grab some coffee. And now that I have everything I need, I'll move on to revealing the spinal cord.
Так, кончили осмотр позвоночника. Так,
The spine is removed. I can see that the spinal cord was not severed. This shows that apart from the marks around the neck, hanging didn't negatively affect the condition of the deceased. Ladies and gentlemen, almost over. Now, to sum up and tidy away the body. The direct cause of Samantha Barker's death was a heart attack resulting from an overdose of barbiturates.
передозировка.
Traces found on the body suggest that the overdose was a deliberate act, following a failed attempt to hang herself. The autopsy found no evidence or genetic materials indicating that death could have been the result of an attack. Third-party involvement must be excluded.
Опять ключо.
Autograph, and we can
Good.
start sewing. In the 1950s and 1960s, the use of barbiturates for suicide was actually quite common. I think it was most talked about after the death of Marilyn Monroe.
Закрыть тело.
At home, it was a help and comfort. On death row, a farewell to the convicts.
Заштопаем.
Well, we're done for today. Thank you for your attention. Tiring day. I can feel those hunger pains coming on. I guess I'll have to pick something up along the way. Gloves in the trash, leave the apron for cleaning. Now I can go. Camera. I didn't turn it off.
Ну и ладно. Не надо, так не надо.
A nightcap will do me good. Good night, Mr. Ridley. The police will pick up the body and accompanying documentation in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I guess there are actually two things in this world you can be certain of. Death and Ridley's reluctant attitude. Alright, maybe 3 things. My whiskey on the rocks when I get home.
Мы прямо в костюме поехали, блядь. А почему так? Почему он не снял его сам? Ну, в мусорку, я думал, в мусорку сам выкинет. Эйби сейчас такой поехал, бля, по патологоанатом, бля, в перчатках, еще за выпивкой, блядь.
So cold. I guess I should have brought my jacket to work. This block can be quite intimidating when it's so quiet. Almost there. Stephen didn't want to go out for a drink tonight, so I'll drink my whiskey in the company of my TV. Shit. I forgot the muffin. Well, Ridley will have a nice treat for the night. I'm sure he'll be his happy, thankful self tomorrow.
А где наша квартира?
What? What? What the fuck? But I locked it. I'm sure of it.
Не запер. Не получилось, не срослось. Так, смотрим следующую, наверное, заставку.
Who the
Нет?
fuck did this? I don't have anything valuable.
Так, ладно.
Money. They must have stolen the money.
Ладно, всем спасибо за просмотр. Такая уже обстановочка накаляется. Поэтому всем спасибо и всем пока-пока.